physically you kind of get numb. I mean, it sounds bad, but like obviously in football, like your body, you go through a lot with your body, and your body adapts to those type of injuries, like conversation, obviously, maybe not using it as much. But you guys actually taught me how to like really put my mind with my body. You know, I didn't really know what that meant until I came here. I was like, okay, my mind is telling me maybe my ankle was hurting. You know, how can we match that up? And you know, and like you guys told me, it's coming from your spine, it's coming from your neck. That's not your actual injury. Your injury's somewhere else.
Welcome to the Miracle Academy. This is your host, Scotty Cooper, and this is where miracles are expected. Welcome to the Miracle Academy. This is your host, Scotty Cooper. Today I have one of my good friends, Jmac, also Jeremy McNichols. Jmac is a practice member here at Cooperstown Chiropractic with us. He is an NFL player and a total baller. He's found us, and we have been able to do a lot of really cool things with him, and we're super excited to have him on the podcast.
Oh no, thank you for having me. Like Scotty said, coming to Cooperstown has really changed my mind, my body, my spirit a ton. And I mean, it happened really fast. So just want to thank you for having me on the podcast, and thank you for allowing me to come here in the off seasons and get better.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that, I'm really interested to hear about is your story, how you got started, how everything progressed to where you're at now to being in the NFL. So how did that all start?
It all started with a dream, watching sports as a young kid, and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a firefighter. I wanted to be a police officer. I went back and forth for a lot of things. Then my mom put me in sports when I was really, really young, elementary school. And I played every sport: basketball, football, baseball, ran track. But I just had this love for the football that always stuck with me. And everything I did, school, sports, at home, I did it to my best ability. And I think my parents did a really good job of discipline in front of me, accountability, and just effort. And whatever I do, go as hard as I can. So it wasn't the easiest role for me. I grew up mostly playing flag football because my mom was a little scared of me getting hit. So that happened, and then I transitioned to tackle football in 6th grade, and I still was trying to feel my way in, getting hit and everything was still uncomfortable. And then high school was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I told myself, like, I'm going to push myself that extra mile, that every single day I try to do something that was going to make me better than the next guy. So high school, that happened for me. Like, I was going, after workouts, I'll go to the YMCA and get a lift in and then ride the bus home. On Saturdays, like, I'll wake up and go to these camps on Saturdays, and 2, 3, 4 hours of just grinding, At the time, it was fun to me. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I just want to go out there and play football, but that was just always instilled in me. And then, I got to college, and I'm like, okay, this is your chance to actually get to that next level of the NFL. But let me go back a little bit to high school. It wasn't an easy journey for me. I wasn't the highest recruited guy. I wasn't the A student in the classroom. I wasn't any of that. But the thing I was I worked harder than a lot of people, and that's why I hung my hat on. So I had a couple offers. Couple offers even got taken away from me, So wound up going to Boise State. They believed in me, and then I just hit the ground running right away, and I knew what my dream was, and I had a great team around me that was able to keep me on that road and didn't let me swerve off of that road, and in between all of that, you dealing with, homesick, not being away from home, missing your family, missing holidays, you're dealing with all this, and you still got to go to class, and you still got to perform on Saturdays, so it's a lovely process, and you fall in love with the process so much, and that's why you do it. And then I was able to get drafted fifth round to Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2017, which is probably the best day of my life. You know, just felt like the world just came falling off my shoulders. And then ever since, man, I've just been grinding. And even in the league, it hasn't been an easy process, you know, getting cut 7 times, on and off a team, city to city. And then finally, in 2020, when everybody thought the year was over, the world was over, still found a way to find my way back on the field, play 17 games, and play a playoff game, you know. So my biggest thing is whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish it if you just dream and you just keep grinding every day.
Nice. So what kept you in that headspace to like keep grinding even though you've been cut 7 times?
Yeah.
And like this year, I remember that. I mean, you were like, you know, I'm ready just whenever I get the call.
Yeah.
How did you stay level through that and knowing that that's your dream?
I put so much time in it. Me personally, I put so much time and energy and effort. It's just like, I'm not gonna quit until they tell me no, or I can't walk anymore, or that's it. Like mentally, I'm gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna be sharp, just because that's how I grew up like that. But I mean, I went through a lot of mental, discomfort. But like I said, the team around me just kept me encouraged. Like, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it, you good. You got here this far. You've been playing football all your life, you know. So just being ready for that opportunity was the biggest thing.
Nice. So what, once you've kind of got there, what's been like some of the really cool things for you being in the NFL?
Oh man, I don't know where to start. I think the access that you get, man, it's the people you're able to meet on a consistent basis. Like, these people are less than 1% of the world, and you're able to be around these type of people and see like the greatness of some of these guys that you go on a practice field with every single day, and you're just like, that's crazy, you know. It's mind blowing at first, and then you get your rhythm, and then you're just like, okay, like I'm one of these guys. So I think just being around these guys, these players, day in and day out was, the coolest thing for me. And then creating your own relationship with these guys, lifelong relationships that I have from some of my teammates that I met in the NFL that are gonna last forever. Mm-hmm. I can call them up, or I invite them to my wedding one day, or they'll be around my kids one day. So I think that's the coolest experience.
Nice. What's been like a really fun story or cool thing from this past season for you?
Shoot, man. I think it was the last game of the year, and we was in Houston, and this was for like the division, and we were up in the first half, second half, and they started coming back, and then they was up 3 points, and I remember like early in the year, like we had to go to overtime with these guys.
Right.
So everybody's like, man, we're gonna have an overtime game. We just want to win this division, get this shirt and t-shirt. And we knew Derek was only like 250 yards from 2,000, so we was like, okay, we want Derek to break the record too. So I mean, watching him break the record was probably the coolest thing of the season, and then watching us win and how like the emotions and just everything that we got to let loose after 20 weeks of a season, to win a division championship, and then getting the shirts and hats in the locker room and just having fun like little kids again. Felt like Pop Warner. Nice. But that moment felt like it was a movie too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Crazy.
I think the one thing, because we watched as many games as we could. That one when you're on Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
And, oh my gosh, that was nuts. When your helmet came off and you kept running, I was like, that was cool.
Yeah.
I was freaked out, but that was pretty cool. That was awesome.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, when that moment happened, I thought of you guys. I'm like, dang, I just left. They just got me right, like spine right, mind right, neck, everything right. And I was like, I know they're mad. I was gonna text you after the game too, but I was like, nah, he gonna be mad at me. I'm not gonna text him. Nah, but that was crazy. I mean, I kind of just blacked out in the moment. I was just like, dang, I never got my helmet ripped off like that. And then I mean, I seen his face. I was like, I'm gonna get down, you know. But I mean, I just kind of blacked out. And then after the game, that thing was everywhere, and I was just like, dang, that was crazy. But like in the moment, it happened so fast.
Yeah, I think like what I was thinking when I saw it was like it speaks back to your work ethic.
Yeah, that's
like,
exactly what it was.
The thing was like you're kind of innate kicked in, and it was just like, okay, this is what I've done my whole life. I run the ball. I get more yards.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt and looked like to me.
No, that's what it was, man. That's just the type of guy I am. You know, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna just go out there and play the hardest I can.
Yeah.
And in that moment, like you said, it showed. And I'm glad I got to express that. I mean, obviously, it kind of hurt a little bit. But
Nice.
Tough play.
Awesome. So what would you tell a young athlete, or maybe like a parent of an athlete that's like, hey, you know, I have a dream too, and I want to do this. What would you tell that person?
I think application is the best thing I can say is, okay, you got this dream, you got this vision that you want to do. How do you apply it? So applying it can be, as a young athlete, can be, first of all, going to school, waking up on time. Do the little things right. Wake up on time, brush your teeth, listen to your parents. Make sure you're taking care of your mind, you know. Get in that routine. And once you get in that routine, then everything else around you starts to open up. Those doors start to open up when you start doing things the right way. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what I started to realize. And also, don't be so pressed to look past your dream. Look at today. How can I get better today? Because those dreams aren't going to, those are years down the line. You have to plan on like day in and day out how to get better. And as a parent, I think the biggest thing to give to your young athlete is the support system. You know, if this is what my son or my daughter wants to do, how am I able to make him better? Or how can I get him the tools, or how can I get him the exposure him or her needs in order to get to the dream? And it could be anything, man. It could be being a firefighter. It could be singing in a band. Like, there's nothing wrong with having those dreams of not being an athlete, not being a singer, or not being a rapper, whatever it might be. Like, you could dream big and you could be a doctor. I mean, that's a tough business too, you know? So how can you make your son or daughter, put them in the best situation and the best people in order to help them reach their dreams?
Nice. That's awesome. How do you see, with you reaching your dream and being here at Cooperstown, how did you see those things interconnect?
I think most of it was mental, you know. Physically, you kind of get numb. I mean, it sounds bad, but like, obviously in football, like, your body, you go through a lot with your body, and your body adapts to those type of injuries, like conversation, obviously, maybe not using it as much, but you guys actually taught me how to like really put my mind with my body. You know, I didn't really know what that meant until I came here. I was like, okay, my mind is telling me maybe my ankle was hurting. You know, how can we match that up? And you know, and like you guys told me, it's coming from your spine, it's coming from your neck. That's not your actual injury. Your injury's somewhere else. So being able to like to pinpoint those type of little things, I mean, because they don't teach you that type of thing, unless you're a specialist, dealing with a specialist. And that's what you guys are. And I think, I mean, physically as well, man, my body's been feeling the best it's ever felt after coming to you guys last spring. So, I mean, and just continuing that process over and over again, I mean, I think it's only going to be better results.
Nice. So you're saying that kind of before the cameras were rolling, we're talking about how this offseason you started to level up your mental game too. So what has been going on with that?
Like I told you earlier before, I've been going so hard just on my body, man. For the last, I just turned 25, so for the last 24 years, it's been go. And I feel like now is the time my body's actually telling me, like, slow down, just rest a little bit. Let's fill your mind with knowledge. Like, I just started my first book, and shoot, a long time, you know? Like, I've never been a reader, or never liked reading. Always just like going out and being active and playing football or playing sports or playing video games. I'm getting a little older now, so I kind of want to start getting that knowledge, you know, off of the field. And then I know that knowledge is going to translate on the field. And I think it's going to make me a better person for one, and it's going to make me a better player for two.
Nice. That's cool. I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about, is that I never was a leader either until the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But I think that both of us kind of leveled up in this last year for sure. Cool. So is there anything else that, while you're on the Miracle Academy podcast, anything else you'd like to share with either an athlete or a aspiring athlete or parents of athletes?
I think that's great. Pandemic, that's a big thing we're talking about now. I've had me personally, the pandemic was my best year in my life. Mentally, physically, emotionally, my best year. I went through a storm early on in the year. Went through a really bad storm. I got cut in the spring, so I was on the team. I went down in the tank for a little bit, and I just had to remember, you gotta keep going. No matter what, the world could be stopped, everybody could be stopped working, but you gotta figure out a way to get out of this. And that took weeks of just thinking to myself, what's my next move? If football doesn't work out, what's my next move? And that got scary. You do that you play football and that's your livelihood for 12, 13, 14 years, and then all of a sudden it stops. That was a big fear of mine last year. And that fear just pushed me to go work out more, to just go train more, to get smarter, to see what's actually out there, to financially, stocks, bond, whatever it might be, real estate. So I started getting into a lot more of that stuff off the field because of, where my situation was. And then that summer I just grinded, got my body right with you guys, mind, body, spirit, so that helped me. And then I was in the right space, the right time, and I got the phone call to go back to Tennessee and play a full season. But I think the biggest thing I can tell everybody, no matter what happens, like I said, the world can be stopping, but that doesn't mean you stop. Whatever your dreams, your aspirations are, just keep going after it, whatever it may be. And it could be you could just sit on the beach one day and just think about what you want to do and just go through that meditation. And that's taking a step forward. It doesn't always have to be this beating your body. I thought that's what it was. I thought I got to go in the gym, I got to throw a lot of weight. No, that's not what it has to be. You could just rest your mind one day, and that's taking a step forward.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing I got to say.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, for people that want to follow you, how do they find you on social media? Yeah,
so my Instagram and my Twitter handle is the same thing. It's just Jeremy McNichols, spelled out, lowercase. And then, I'm on there. And I'll be looking out for you guys.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This is really fun. And there was so much knowledge and nuggets in that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So this is the Miracle Academy podcast with Scotty Cooper, and this is where miracles are expected.